Hey everybody, it's Sherri. Let me see if I can fix some things here. Okay. Let me see if my audio is working. Can you guys hear me? If anybody's watching, can you tell me if you can hear my audio? Just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Let me see. I think this is my first time doing a live, so you guys let me know if this is working, because honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm trying this for the first time. So I'm just going to assume that everyone can hear me, even though I can't tell, and I'll just start talking and see where it goes. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys today about a bunch of different things. So no, Charlie Freak is not coming on the show. I wish that would be great. I have some questions for him, but no. Nope, it's just me. So I'm Sherri. I'm part of the Collective channel. I have a business in Bethesda, Maryland. I do intuitive energy healing called Intuitive Wellness. I also do distance sessions. Many of you have probably seen me on interviews with Prime or Spiritually Raw and a couple other interviews with Jen Mon. And then I have my own YouTube channel. So what I wanted to talk about today, because what I'm really, really excited about are children. So if you have seen my interview with both of the interviews with Spiritually Raw with Jay and April, I talk about the Divinely Guided Children's School that I have been planning for years to put together. And recently I just decided to go for it, even though I'm not right. The space that I'm in isn't quite right just yet for that. But I'm going to go ahead and we've launched it. I have a couple of practitioners that are working with me, and I am so over the moon excited because I think this is a really great opportunity for children we're probably going to start with ages 5 to 17 for right now. And it's going to range from spirit art classes to, let's see what else, intuitive development classes and meditation, mindful breathing, yoga, stretches, channeling your emotions, music classes, and then I'll do a variety of spiritual development classes as well. So I'm very, very excited about it. I know a lot of you that are watching this are probably not in the Maryland area, so you're probably wondering why this is such a big deal, and what about your kids, if you have any. And what I'm going to do is we're going to launch the classes starting in February in person in my wellness center in Bethesda. But because I truly believe in my heart of hearts that this is going to be huge, very expansive over the next few years, and I hope to grow significantly. We will start offering virtual classes in. I'll probably start them late February, early March, so that way children all over the country, all over the world can Zoom in and take these classes virtually. And I'd like to create a support group for parents and some classes for parents as well, because I know that there are a lot of parents with extremely gifted spiritual children, or those that are struggling with hyperactivity or ADHD or learning disabilities, and they're really struggling right now. And so I'd like to create some support groups for parents to log on and help and talk to each other, and I can help guide them through certain challenges, and then maybe a support group for children as well, for them to talk to other like-minded kids in a free format. We have a Facebook page that is, I believe, if I did it correctly, is on the description, and it tells you it's Divinely Guided Parents, but it is for children as well. Hi, everybody. I'm still learning how to use Red Pill. What's up? I'm trying to learn how to use this. So red pill, let me know how I'm doing and what question. And if you guys feel free to ask me any questions you want during this Q&A too, because I'm opening it up. What questions you have about the kids? There's so much going on right now. So for those of you that do have children, I want to bring this up today because I have three. I have a 6-year-old that's a rainbow. I have an 8-year-old that's a star, and I have a 15, about to be 16-year-old that's a crystal. So they're all very, what that means really is that they're all very spiritually different. They have different gifts. They need to be parented differently. They think differently. They act differently. They require different things from me. But really, all over the world, from many parents that I've talked to, including my own, just like I did a video recently on my YouTube channel about animals and the ascension symptoms that they're having. Children are having them too. Okay, so some of the most common things that kids are having right now are stomach aches. And the reason for that is children channel their energy through their solar plexus and their sacral chakras. And when they are out of sorts or unbalanced or unassured or noticing the fluctuation in the energy or the frequency of their environment, whether they realize it or not, the first kind of line of defense is the skin, but then secondly, it's the abdomen. So a lot of kids will get stomach aches and they don't know why. And it can be frustrating for parents because there isn't a lot you can do to help them in that situation. So what I recommend is those of you that do know energy healing to give them Reiki. Even if you don't, anybody can do energy healing. It's not an advanced modality, really. I mean, we all have the innate ability to do hands-on healing. Anybody can do it. So if you have children, or even if you want to work on yourself and you're having anxiety, I mean, really all you have to do is just tap the chakras on your inner palms, warm them up, have the intention that you are going to channel high vibrational energy from just the highest vibrational source of the divine, nothing less than that, for your highest good. And then just place your hands on your body where you're hurting, and you might even feel your hands warm up, but give it about 5 minutes or so and you'll start to feel better. But you can do that for your kids as well to calm them down, because it will really help, because kids are having a really rough time right now, just like we are. And not only for the obvious reasons of COVID and virtual learning, but they're also going through ascension symptoms just like everybody else. I don't know if anybody that's watching this right now is having any ascension symptoms, but just like for kids and animals, for us, it could be more severe. So headaches, insomnia, different mood swings. As our vibration fluctuates, our moods can go in and out of different vibrations. Let's talk about vibrations for a second, because there were a lot of questions about that. When I did a Prime interview with Prime, live last was it Thursday? There was a lot of interest in that. So, and I kept getting interrupted. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. Knock on wood, it's been okay so far. I had better internet too. So if you think about us as souls, and we have our physical body, and whatever frequency we're at, our vibration is going to match that, and it ripples out. So right now is a good example. So yesterday was a shit show. For the most part, for the first hour or so, it was very peaceful. And then we all know what happened after that. And so a lot of people are really afraid right now, and they are allowing themselves to go into the fear frequency. And what happens in the fear frequency, which is aligning with what I was talking about the other day with Prime, is that our vibration then matches that frequency, and then there's a ripple effect. And so that ripple effect goes out into the atmosphere, and the people next to you can feel it, your animals can feel it, your pets can feel it. And more importantly, it adds to the collective consciousness of humanity and the vibration that we're in. And so although it was disturbing what everybody saw yesterday, hopefully none of you watched the news, because I watched maybe 5 minutes of it and I just couldn't take it, because I wanted to see what they were saying. And of course, they were bashing Trump supporters and saying a lot of horrible things. And anybody that really has any common sense knows that there's a lot more going on than what they're reporting on. So I just turned it off. But what I could sense was, when I tapped into kind of the awareness of the humanity that's tapped in, that's awake, I felt a massive shift in vibration, where people allowed themselves to feed into that fear, or not necessarily fear, but the frustration that they were feeling because of what they were seeing on TV and what they were hearing. And it was uncomfortable for everybody. So my best advice for you is to recognize that whatever emotion you're in, the ripple effect that it gives off to other people is significant when combined with everybody else's. So I had this metaphor come to me this morning, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So think about what's happening right now, because those of you who have heard me talk before, I always say I truly, when I tap into the timeline of the future, the immediate future, meaning like March, April, and this year coming up, it's positive. We really have to get through this negative period right now, and it's bumpy and it's ugly and it's messy. But I 100% within my heart believe that it's going to get where we're headed is beautiful, and it's in the fifth dimension, and it's high vibrational, and we're disintegrating, disalchemizing this third dimension matrix, because it's not viable anymore, because the lower vibrational energy, all the dark forces that have been trying to control us for hundreds of years, it's breaking down and dissolving. And so as we go into a higher dimension, I believe as we are transitioning into the higher dimension, things are going to work out beautifully for everybody. I can see it. I can see the educational system shifting. I can see the medical system shifting. Just everything. Just imagine everything in your life just shifting into a very positive direction. But until then, we have to get through the thick of what's happening. So the metaphor or the vision that I got was, if you guys can imagine, you go to work and you have set your DVR to record your favorite show, right? So it's happened already. You've come home. The show's already finished. Probably somebody spoiled it for you and told you what the ending was, but you still wanted to watch it. But you know the ending is a positive one. Let's say it's an action-packed show or movie. So as you're watching the movie, you already know it's ended. You already know the outcome, but you're living through. You're watching the movie as it's airing, and so there are if it's an action-packed movie, there are people that are fighting. So you have the good guys, making their move, and then the bad guys making their move, and it's back and forth. Their moves, the chess moves, the intensity of the show can be quite exhilarating and overwhelming and frustrating. And you can feel as you're watching that movie, your vibration is shifting. Oh, I'm anxious. Oh, okay, I got it. Or you're kind of all over the place, and then you listen to this podcast. This person makes you feel better, and so on. So that's kind of how we're living right now. So we're like this movie that is playing out, and it's ugly and it's messy, and it's likely going to get worse before it gets better over the next few weeks. But the good news is that the movie is already done. It's already played out. So if you can shift your perspective or your thinking, that I recognize that we are in a really negative period right now. There's a lot of untruths being told. There's a lot of manipulation and programming happening. But if you just think about the fact that the movie's done and we've already won, then you can raise your frequency to a level that you are adding the positivity to that particular timeline, saying, I don't accept this. I don't accept this negativity. I know that it's playing out, but I know that things are going to be right for humanity. And you're going to just simply wish for the highest good of humanity and only focus on that. Channel that fear or that anger or that frustration that you had in that moment that I watched CNN for 5 minutes. I felt myself get upset and really frustrated. So I turned the TV off. I took a bunch of deep breaths. And as I exhaled, I told myself, I'm going to channel this energy, this unnecessary, low vibrational energy into a positive. And I put more energy into my projection of us getting through this movie faster, with less casualties, with less hate, with less everything that's negative, so that we can just get there sooner. So if you can imagine that if you could imagine that a majority of the population is thinking in that way and projecting the highest good of humanity and the best outcome for us, then it will most certainly happen much faster. Because right now, I believe that we did have a split around December 21st, where we have the third dimension and then we have the fifth dimension. And most of us that are awake are up in the fifth, trying to pull people up into the third. And then the ones that are in the third are very much almost like concrete, like they're stuck to the ground. They're refusing to wake up and to believe that anything else is part of their reality. And so the split the Mother Earth can't hold these two vibrations for very long, these two timelines. So eventually the third dimensional timeline is going to phase out. But right now we're still so close to that split that people are bouncing back and forth between the two. And so if you just hold your personal power and your strength and your intention that I refuse to remain on the third dimension. I am upgrading myself to the fifth. And you do that in many ways. One, by your emotional, your thoughts and what you're projecting out, not watching the fake news, and getting your news from people like Prime and Spiritually Raw, Jay and April and Jason X. I mean, all the people that are what Charlie Freak would refer to as goodly godly, the people that are trying to give you the right information. So I don't do a lot of political news. I follow everything, but I'm not the type that's going to bring forward that information. But what I do like to do is bring forth a spiritual perspective and a mechanism for people to navigate through these periods and maintain a high vibration so they don't get sucked into all the negativity. So that's really what I'm trying to bring forward. In my sessions, I do a lot of sessions with people where I help them transition from the third to the fifth dimension. And the way I do that is I am raising my frequency high enough so that I can integrate with somebody's energy field. And then I can open up all of their timelines. So timelines is just another word for lifetimes. Okay, so there's parallel universe. I mean, there's so many different terms. I like the word timeline. You open up all those timelines. Some people can have 3, 10, some people can have hundreds. So when I do people like that, I don't go into all of them. There's just no way I can do that in one sitting. But what I do is I pull forward the ones that need to be cleared the most. And what I mean by that is other timelines where you've had a lot of trauma, you've had a lot of anxiety, really horrible things happen to you, or you're in a karmic cycle where you're doing the same thing timeline after timeline with the same people, perhaps in different roles, but it's the same theme because you're trying to learn lessons in those timelines. But when we're trapped in this third dimension, the problem is with all the infiltration of evil and dark energy and deep state, whatever you want to call it, they have really captivated our essence and we haven't been able to tap into our higher awareness. So we become lost and we're not able to fulfill our destiny, what we came here to do for so many timelines before this one. But the magical thing about what's happening right now is that we're finally, the collective consciousness of humanity has finally reached a breaking point where enough of us are awake, enough of us are at a higher frequency that one even allowed Mother Earth to go into the fifth dimension, but also to pull some of the other people forward that have been struggling so that we can mass awaken ourselves and our family and friends when they're ready, but more importantly, hold a higher vibration. When we're in a higher frequency or higher vibration, we are able to tap into our intuition, our higher self, and the collective consciousness of humanity. When I do a lot of my other interviews, I talk about like a golden cord or silver cord, however people see it differently, coming up from your crown, going up into let's just say up into the sky, for lack of a better word right now. But imagine everybody has that. And then once it gets to a certain point, all of the people around the world, every single person breathing, including animals, anybody, plants, crystals, all of it, they all can tap into that knowing. We all have the ability to do that. That's how intuitives work. We're able to go up our timeline into the collective timeline and look ahead and see what it looks like. It is ever changing, yes. But again, when we're in the fifth and higher dimensions, it's much more clear, or the vision is much more clear to see. There aren't as many possibilities because the more possibilities are generally due to the lower vibrations, because we're more likely to become infiltrated by fear, anger, evil, dark entities, all of that, control. So when I work on people, I am tapping into their timelines and clearing that karma, that energy, that darkness, all of that, just clearing it out, and then merging all the timelines together, and all of the good, all of the wisdom, all of the lessons that you've learned in those timelines, all of the good stuff that you've got out of it, all of that wisdom, you pull it all together because I believe where we're headed in the future is where we are only really in one timeline. So there is no need for all of these lives anymore. It's just one. It's one unified timeline where we're all in a higher frequency, where we can be of service to humanity, and we don't need to live out all these alternate timelines to see what would happen if we did this, if we made this choice, or if we did this thing to somebody, and then we got to make it up to them in another timeline. It's not working anymore. And when we're in a higher frequency, we won't need to do that anymore. So life is going to be way different, which is why I'm super, to bring it back to the children, why I'm very excited to open this center for kids, domestically and then internationally, hopefully not too far in the future, so that we can help cater to these children's gifts, help them understand what they are, help them understand that they're not different, help them understand that they don't need to suppress it out of fear of being different or being bullied by other kids. And allow them to blossom and really learn from them, because a lot of the children, I joke around all the time, my children are way like more advanced than I am. They may be smaller, they may be younger, but they're way more wise than I am, and I'm learning from them constantly. And it's difficult to do that from a parent-child perspective. A lot of people are like, no, you listen to me, I'm the parent, you're the child. But I don't do that, because I can just shift myself a little bit farther back and recognize that my size, my age has nothing to do with wisdom. It has to do a lot with listening and learning. And so I'm happy to listen and learn from my kids all the time, and the wisdom that they bring. And my kids aren't any different than anybody else's. They're all the same. Most of them have the ability to tap into that higher awareness. So through this center, I'm hopeful that we can help them to do that a little bit more with ease, and also how to teach them how to control it, and how to manipulate energy, how to do healing, self-healing, healing on friends and their family members, things like that. So if anybody is interested in learning more about divinely guided children, so apparently I did it wrong, because I thought I had done a stream below, but again, I did not. So I think in the description I put it down there, but it's divinely guided, divinelyguidedchildren.com. Within that homepage, there is a donation area in case anybody just is dying to help me out and donate to this center. I'm a one-man operation at the time, and I'm trying to expand with minimal resources. So I would be very grateful for anybody that is willing to get involved in some way. If you don't have any money to donate, just reach out to me. My email is also below, I think. Yeah, I have very high hopes for where this is going. I'm one small person with a very large mission ahead of me, and so one step at a time, right? So before I move on, does anybody have any questions? I like your shirt, Red Pill. Wait, my autistic son told me when it gets dark, he travels through dimensions. Travels now to fix mistakes. So in sleep, he goes through dimensions. What's happening to him? He will be 14 next month. Oh, interesting. Okay, first of all, autistic children are highly intelligent. I know that the world wants you to believe that there's something wrong with them, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, okay? That's number one. They're highly intelligent. The issue with them, well, there's a lot of things that could be happening. One, those poor high vibrational souls come in and they get vaccinated as soon as they come out of the womb, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then they continue to get vaccinated with all those toxins, and it completely sets their body out of whack. And I know I've said in the past that some do sign up for it. I absolutely believe, and I know that because I've had some tell me, their higher selves tell me that they signed up for this, more for our learning and for us to study so that it shifts later. Good news is, down the line, I don't see autism or anything anymore. I think it's going to be gone because we're going to shift things around, and it's not going to be a thing. But for a lady, This is so fascinating. Gosh, they are so high vibrational and so connected. So when they're connected to spirit, so they're able. So this is really cool. And they may not always be consciously aware of that they're doing this, but they can tap into other timelines. Consciously, absolutely, but also during sleep. Also, when they are, sometimes when you see them and they feel as though they are not there, they're like, when you're daydreaming or something, but you look at them and they feel like, gosh, are they even in the room? They already have a hard time looking at people in the eyes. One child told me once it's because they see demons in people, so that it freaked them out. I think that's absolutely true. It may not be demons, but what I do feel for a lot of them is they see your aura or your vibration, and they can tell, just like animals. And I'm not comparing them to animals, but much like animals, where they are able to tap into a higher awareness, and they use that sense where they can feel and have a knowing based on the vibration that the person is giving off, that they can feel that. And that's what they're doing. So they may actually see demons, absolutely, but they could also just be feeling negativity from them, or an uncomfortable knowing, because they can see past the person. They can see past my face. They know if I'm good or not. We could put these shields on, but if you're intuitive or you're a child, you can see past that easily. There's no hiding who you truly are. Nobody can do that unless you're around people who are completely asleep and you're able to manipulate them. Then yes, but for people who are awake, you can't fool those people. It's just not possible. So these children you cannot fool. And so so for her, perhaps her son is traveling through dimensions, and he's aware of it, and he is almost like a superhero. He can go in and he can manipulate the timelines and then go back into the other ones and then merge them together himself. If you want to email me, milady, I could talk to you more about this, because a lot of information is flooding through, but I don't know necessarily if a lot of people want to hear me going on about this. Just email me. And if I don't have it on below because I forgot, it's Sherri@intuitivewellnesscenter.com. So email me and we'll talk more offline. I'm just reading the comments. Sorry, guys, I got distracted. Okay. So I'll pivot for just 1 second. And I forgot to put my thing on the bottom. Hopefully I'll remember to do it the next time, although I thought I did. So I don't know what I did wrong. Bear with me, people. But what I did want to do is go back to adults for a second and the Ascension symptoms. I have been having such bad insomnia. I've always been a good sleeper. I've been one of those, like a cat. I could sleep all day. When I started having kids, that just wasn't an option anymore. And so I kind of have learned to have less sleep. But at nighttime, and when my kids got older, I was able to sleep no problem. And for the last few months, I have been struggling. I don't know about you guys, but I've crashed at the end of the night because I'm so tired. But then I wake up every night, like 1, 2, 3. And there are nights where I'm up like for 3, 4 hours just watching. I'm binging on Spiritually Raw interviews or podcasts and things that I have in my queue. And I can't go back to sleep. I also have this buzzing energy where I feel like I'm, I don't know if this has happened to you guys, but it's like you feel your vibration, your energy. You're just like, you feel like you got to get up and run around because there's so much energy. This is likely what a lot of autistic children feel like, which is why they feel, because the vibration, they feel that vibration, they feel their own. So they're just like, they can't sit still. They feel like they got to keep moving. And I've been feeling that a lot. And I know there's a lot of reasons for that. Mostly having to do with the ascension and frequency fluctuations in the environment. Yes, of course, a lot of it could be stress because I am running 2 businesses. I have 3 children, 3 pets. I'm just really overwhelmed a lot of the times, just doing so many different things. So what I want to tell you guys about is I got, because of Prime and Jay and April, I started trying some CBD products. And I have to say, this CBD with melatonin is like the best thing I've ever had in my life. Like, I want to wrap it up in a present and give one to everybody under every Christmas tree, because it is incredible. I ordered it a couple weeks ago, and I thought I would just try it because I've tried melatonin before, but I thought, wow, why not try the CBD version? So it doesn't have a lot of melatonin in it. It's about, I think, 5 milligrams 5 milligrams, and then 25 milligrams of CBD. I took one the other night, and I have to tell you, it was life-changing for me. So I can't sleep without it now. Probably not the best thing, because you probably shouldn't take it every night. But I think, at least for the time being, while I'm dealing with these Ascension symptoms and things going on, this stuff is absolutely, here, how do I do this? Is absolutely incredible. HempWorks. These people have created products that, like, honestly, I don't particularly enjoy trying to sell things to people. So I've just never done it before. But, like, seriously, this stuff is incredible. And then everybody that knows me personally knows that I'm a coffee snob, and I have to have it like 20 times a day. I have lessened my amount in the last couple of years for health reasons. But I like it very strong, like trucker's coffee, like super strong. Okay. Cause I need lots of energy. And I tried this reluctantly. Prime was always talking about it. He's raving about it all the time on his coffee with Prime. And I'm like, there's no fucking way, excuse my language, that I'm going to like this when I take super expensive, strong Starbucks coffee and others, Pete's and other things every morning. There's no way this is going to work for me. But I have to say that it's delicious. I drink it every morning. I've been taking it now, or drinking now, for a week, almost 2 weeks, every single day. I haven't had coffee, and I have more energy, and I am happier, and I don't have the heart palpitations for my trucker's coffee anymore at all. It's incredible, and I don't have the crash that you normally experience a few hours later after you have your coffee and then you need more at all. And it tastes delicious. It's not as good, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not Starbucks, okay? But it doesn't have all the additives and the crap that they put in coffee. And it's actually pretty good for you. And it's got the CBD. So it's helped me to be more focused, have more clarity. And it's way better for me than the coffee that I've been drinking. So I just want to recommend this and this one. Don't take my word for it, though. Honestly, they have a million other products. Oh, I forgot. So my little furry friends, I did buy the CBD. I think it was like 250 milligrams of the drops for my pets. So let's go back to pets. I did a video the other day about pets and their Ascension symptoms, and I should have talked about this. I did not think about it. Before I even thought about myself, I ordered products for the pets first because I wanted to try, because I have a 14-year-old rickety old lady that has extreme arthritis. I mean, this poor thing, she can't even walk. It's really hard to watch her. And I've got her on every prescription medication that is known to man. I do Reiki on her, and I do a lot for her, and nothing seems to be helping. So I got the CBD for her, and then I have a incredibly annoying, anxiety, crazy 10-month-old Doberman. I love him to death, but he's just crazy. And so I gave them both the same thing. It's amazing. It's helped my dog walk better. And the Doberman, when we give it to him and we know, like, we're going to leave the house and we don't want him to tear up our couch or something, we'll give it to him and he just chills. Completely chill. It's the most amazing thing. Anyways, so enough about all of that. Okay, does anybody have any questions about anything, or am I boring you guys? Is this good? Is this helpful at all? Like, literally, this is my first time doing a live. No idea what I'm doing. Normally, I like to be in the comfort of my office to doing videos, and then I'll download them when I feel like it. But this way, like, there's no going back now, right? Because it's already up here. So, Carrie, 2 of my children, 4 and 6, have been waking up wide awake for 2 months now. I'm telling you, man, it's the vibration of that. You wrote that at exactly 333. That's cool. That's just the vibration of what's happening right now. It's really hard. I feel for these kids. So 4 and 6, you'll have to research this yourself. I'm not advocating for this for any children because I don't know, but I've heard that the CBD drops, there are some safe for kids that are much low milligram. I haven't tried it myself yet, but it's supposed to help with better sleep. But I will say, to go to melatonin for a second, my 2 younger children have been having trouble sleeping. So like I said, I have a 6-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son, and they both don't sleep well. And I bought them the over-the-counter chewy vitamin gummies, melatonin gummies for kids. I swear to you guys, every single night, within 10 minutes of taking those gummies, they are passed out. Passed out. It works. It really has helped them. I would say 70% of the time they stay awake. Then 30% or so, they wake up in the middle of the night. But I would say that there is a significant improvement in the melatonin gummies. So you could try that if that's something that you are willing to try. You could try hands-on healing before they go to bed. I'm telling you, even if you think you don't know Reiki, you do. Everybody knows how to do energy healing. I promise you. Warm your hands up. Tell the universe or the divine to send high vibrational love, light energy through your body. Request it, ask for it, it will come. You just have to ask. Make sure you ask for high vibrational energy for your highest good or your children's highest good only. You have to say that to make sure that you're not inviting the wrong energy into your home. That's like seriously very important. So don't forget that. You don't want to inadvertently invite the wrong energy. Put your hands on your child, their back, or rub their tummy, and just do that for like 5 minutes or so. If they're wiggle worms and they don't want you to do that, then a lot of times what I'll do is when my kids are watching TV or laying down on the couch, I'll put my hands near them and do it from a little bit of a distance, and that will help them settle down. Because too much, we are in like that sympathetic mode before we go to bed. It's like trying to hard shut down your computer. It's really not a good idea. And a lot of us have adrenaline, cortisol running through our bodies. And then we lay down and we try to go to sleep. And we have trouble doing that because our body's confused. It's like, wait, are you asking me to sleep? Because I have all these awake fight or flight hormones running through the body and you're confusing me. I don't know what to do. And so we all should try to shut down slowly. And one of the best and easiest ways to do that is through breathing. And this is easy for kids too. So you can tell your kids to do this right before bed. And this is for adults too. I do this, 10 times a day if I feel myself getting stressed out, is mindful breathing. And all you have to do is you just tell your intention is that you are going to take in a deep breath and you're going to bring in all the energy that is low vibrational or that's not of your highest good. Just pull it all in. Say you're pulling it forward to the surface. Anything that's bothering you, any low vibrational energy, emotions, anything that's in your energy field that is not of your highest good, breathe it in. And then your intention is when you breathe in, you hold your breath for just a few seconds. You take a nice big exhale. And when you exhale, you are letting that energy go. And you're saying that in your mind or out loud, doesn't matter. When I exhale, I am releasing and letting it go. I guarantee you, after a minute or two of you doing that breathing, you will feel 10 times better. I literally have never had anybody, and I say this all the time, and I still haven't. Nobody has emailed me, texted me, called me, left a comment that did not help in some way. It really does, because that's our body's natural way to go from sympathetic mode into parasympathetic mode. It lowers your heart rate, lowers your blood pressure, reduces tension in the body. It is our superpower. Our superpower is our breath. Really, I'm telling you, it's powerful and it works for any situation. That's why when my kids are worked up or they're upset, I'm just like, just breathe. Take a second. Take deep breaths. Breathe. Exhale. Because innately our bodies know what to do to calm ourselves down and to bring us out of that sympathetic fight or flight. So that's another thing that you can try with the kids too, is teach them to breathe for a couple minutes that way before they go to sleep. You tried melatonin? Yeah. I don't know. And you can try different brands too. And as they get older, they have the slow release ones so that it overnight or throughout the night, it releases a little bit more so that they don't wake up. 2 to 3 every morning. I'm telling you. Everybody is. I have my clients emailing me too. Why am I waking up every night, 2 to 3 in the morning? I can't go back to sleep. That's also when the veil is the thinnest between the dimensions. So there's a reason for that. We either are woken up from our sleep, or it's just our physical bodies feel the frequency, and then we wake up because of it. But that's that magical hour. That's the hour. Those are the hours that the veil gets really super thin, and a lot of good things can happen in those hours, but a lot of bad things can happen. That's why a lot of dark people and the S words, I don't like to say that word, but they do a lot of their rituals and stuff in those hours because they know that they can tap into a lower frequency easily, just like we can tap into a higher frequency easily or easier during that time. So, and yes, wait, what does that mean? Does it need cream? I don't even know if that's common is for me. So I'll keep going. And yes, kids do, Katie. They do read our minds all the time. It's incredible. Like my daughter, if you guys have a rainbow kid, they're human lie detectors, and they know you can't fool them. They know when you're lying, so don't even try. She calls me out. She'll call me out and tell me. She won't say I'm lying. She won't say you're lying, mom, but she'll know. She'll know that I'm trying to fool her in some way. Mind reading moments. I love that. Oh, see, Katie, we need more moms like you. We need more parents that are open. And that's what I want to do at the center. I'm really trying to create parent classes as well so that parents can come in and learn intuitive development and things like that so that they're more able to help their kids when they come up and say random things to them that blows their mind and they're like, well, what do I do with that information? Yeah, Monty, you're so freaking awesome for saying that. And that is 100% accurate. So they part of the reason why they're making us wear the mask. Well, there's a lot of reasons. One, it's ritualistic, and they want to see how many people will actually do it. But also, it's symbolic. But also, they know that, and there was an amazing pulmonologist that was on Spiritually Raw the other day, and I was 100% agreeing with everything that he was saying because I've been saying the same thing. It will lower our immune system significantly, especially over time. Like I feel bad for people who work in the grocery store or anywhere really that they have to wear a mask all day long. Like that's so bad. Your body is going into acidosis constantly. So talk about being in fight or flight in that sympathetic mode. My goodness. And so right now, people are struggling. A lot of people are struggling who have been wearing the mask for all this time because they are having a harder time fighting off just the common cold. Forget about COVID; it's just the flu. But just basic things like that, they don't feel good, and then they're getting sick, and other things are happening to them. So mask, no good, no good. Jaden, thank you. Any information for an 8-month-old, like what to look for or any way to help them if they are going through this and what we don't know? Oh, yeah, that's a good one because I'll come back to Jaden. So Julia, yes, Julie, that's a thing. Yes, absolutely, because these little souls are so advanced and they are trying desperately to communicate with us and they can't. Well, they try in many ways, and unfortunately, one of those ways is crying and acting out. And then we think that they're just, they have colic or something. That's just a fancy word for I don't know what's wrong with your child and why it's crying so much. But really, they are trying to let you know. Being a baby sucks. I've had hundreds of babies come to me through adult sessions from when they were children, when they were babies, their inner child or babies themselves that I've worked at, say, and including my middle son. He had a hard time because think about these vast vibrational beings coming in and being jam-packed in these tiny, tiny little bodies. And it sucks. It really does. I mean, their digestive system is trying to figure itself out. They're trying to figure out how to use their body and they can't move yet in the beginning. And it sucks. And no wonder they cry all the time because they have no other way to release their frustration. And so I feel for them. So, Julie, unfortunately, there isn't a lot we can do for them if we are unable to communicate necessarily. But what you can do is, I know this is going to sound like a cheesy Hallmark card, but honestly, they feed off of your vibration. So the more loving and calm and you are in control of your own vibration and what energy you're giving off, they will respond to that, and they will do a lot better if you are doing a lot better. So try your best to keep yourself at balance by doing your own breathing, maybe doing a minute of breathing. But let's say you hear your baby wake up in the middle of the night crying. Instead of rushing over, do 2 minutes of a minute or so of breathing. Calm yourself down, get your energy at balance, and then go pick them up, because they feed off of that. And I learned that lesson the hard way. I was really frustrated, and my first son was so easy. He was like an angel. I mean, to this day, he's like super easy. Crystal children are like that, though. They don't like confrontation. They're super sensitive, so they'll just do whatever you tell them, and they can be pushovers. So you got to be careful as parents when they get older to make sure that doesn't happen to them. But anyways, my second son was a firecracker and couldn't sit still and struggled and cried a lot. And when I tapped into his higher self, he said, I can't be in this body. This is just too hard for me. I don't like this stage. And I would get frustrated at night, and I was, because of lack of sleep, and I would just I would want to lose my mind. And I'm like, I don't know what you want from me. But I knew that my frustration and that vibration I was giving off was not doing him any good, because I was just adding to his own frustrations. So there is no magical answer other than give them lots of love. Hold these babies. Stop doing this thing where what's that method that they call it? Where you, I can't think of it. Our babies need our love. They need our affection. They need our attention. Don't leave them in the other room for 20 minutes to cry. That's absolutely ridiculous. You only have them when they're that size for such a small period of time. Spend that time with them, because I guarantee you, when you look back, mine's youngest is 6. I mean, I would give anything to hold that little tiny baby again with the little onesies, and they're so cute. I would do anything for that if I could just have 10 minutes of holding her as a baby again. So I'm just looking at other people's questions. And Julie, if your 8 month seems to be doing pretty well and sleeping well and eating well and seems to be pretty adjusted, then he or she, I don't know what you said, is probably doing just fine. What do you call an adult who can call out a liar? A truther, an intuitive. It's all about your presentation. Okay, so I have this argument with my husband all the time, because he is one of those straightforward guys. He'll just tell you how he feels. He's got a very healthy throat chakra, right? He'll just tell you. But doesn't matter if what he's saying is right and makes sense. It's your delivery that matters to the other person, and how that vibration you're giving off is perceived. And if it's not, if it's aggressive or at a lower vibration, then the person perceiving it is going to take it the wrong way, no matter what you're saying. So yes, you could call out a liar, but it's just the way you say it to them is really what it's all about. When the 5th dimension is all about having compassion and empathy for others, and being able to articulate the way you feel or express how you feel to another person without hurting their feelings. And I know that sounds elementary, but really that's all about, because at the higher frequency you go, you don't wish to hurt others, or you just have more compassion for their situation, because everybody's walking their own journey, and everybody's having a really shitty time and a hard time, and everybody responds to it differently. And so you can't expect people to react or do things the way you would do them. I think I said that on Prime's interview the other day. We can't judge people on what we would do, because it doesn't necessarily mean what I would do is what's right for the other person. And so I have no idea what I just said, if that even answered someone's question. The coffee. Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, Jennifer. Okay, so I know a lot of people that drink the coffee straight, but I don't drink my coffee straight, so there's no way I was going to drink this without something in it. But I know a lot of people who think it tastes fine just the way it is. I put cream and a little bit of sugar. I bought it for my in-laws, my husband's parents. I bought them a box, and they've been drinking it every day to help with a variety of issues, health-wise and things, and to get them off regular coffee. And I think my husband's father said he put honey in it, and he liked the way it tasted. April had a great idea. She said she puts a little bit of cream or something and blends it, makes a frappuccino. That's a really good idea. So yeah, you can add stuff to it. And that's what I do. But it tastes, honestly, I cannot lie. It doesn't taste, I was expecting it to taste like shit when I got it. I was like, there's no way I'm going to drink this. And I've had it every day for 2 weeks, and at least two. I have two a day. And I'm fine. It's like I miss the other coffee, but like not enough that I'm ditching this one yet, because this one, the positive stuff outweighs the bad stuff more. So it does taste pretty good. Yeah, Minnie, we don't need drugs, man. We need hugs and we need natural shit. That's where we're going. It's all about energy healing, and tapping into a higher awareness so that we can heal ourselves. We all have the ability to do that. Every one of you, every person on earth has the ability to heal themselves, to heal other people. You don't need prescriptions. You don't need any of that. But we've been programmed to believe that we do. Or we're just, we are busy with our lives. So we're like, God, I have a headache right now. Instead of me trying to figure out why I have a headache, I don't have time for that. So I'm just going to take 2 Advil and keep going. That's the mentality of like, because we don't want to stop. Our headache is getting away of the list this big of things that we have to do. So we take the Advil and we go on with our life. And then we hope the headache goes away. And I'm not preaching like I don't do any of this, okay? I take Advil and for my back pain, headaches, and things too. But what I try to do is both. I really try to do more natural stuff. I use crystals. I do healing on myself all the time. Acupuncture. I hurt my hip the other day. I had an acupuncturist come to my house, worked on me a few times. I had a couple of my practitioners that I work with do some Reiki on me, or one of them. So yeah, I believe in holistic first, and then sprinkle in other stuff if you need to. Yeah, honey's really good for you. Connie, you're right. I'm not going to argue with you. You are right. Technically, the most healthy way to drink your coffee is absolutely black. Absolutely is black. But I don't like the taste of it. So I add a little bit of sugar, and I add a little bit of lactose-free creamer, and I'm okay with that. And it is what it is. I try my best to be healthy, but there are some things I don't want to give up. Monty's asking, if your vibrations were not aligned on the 21st of December, can you still get your ascension? Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is not like a bouncer door, and then once, it hit midnight, they shut the door and you're not allowed to get in. Like, absolutely not. I think that what happened, or no, I don't think. This is what happened. I think months, and even, okay, so years, but more intensely, months before the 21st, the shift started happening. So that's why I had so many more clients come to me that, like, out of nowhere, thought I were waking up, right? Is getting prepared. 21st came, another condensed mass frequency shift happened. So we had the pre-game, the game, and now we're in the post-game, okay? And I don't know how long the post-game is going to last. I think it has a lot to do with a lot of factors about what's going on in present time and how long that takes to work itself out. But I believe that the window is 100% still open. So we're in that post game. So now the frequency is continuing to rise. So those are still joining in. I do believe that we are going to get to a point where it's solidified, where you got to make a choice. You're either in the 3rd or the 5th. And then the 3rd is just going to, I don't know what's going to happen to it. I see it as it just alchemizing and dissolving. Who knows what's actually going to happen? Is just me trying to figure out or tap in to a higher awareness and interpret what I'm seeing. Just because I'm interpreting it doesn't mean it's correct. It's just how I'm interpreting it. But anyways, the point is the door is still open. Whoever wants to join is welcome at any time, but it has to be a pure intention. You can't be waffling back and forth and being like, well, but I still hate so many people, and I can't forgive all these people, and I'm so angry about these things. Can I still get in? Like, come on, no. You have to really be willing to move forward in a different mindset, in a different reality, where you forgive and let go of all the BS that we've been holding on to for lives, multiple lives. And I'm doing the same. Again, I'm I'm not special. I was gonna say Mother Teresa, but I found out some shit about her recently, so I'm never gonna use that example again. I mean, just the amount of things in my life that I've learned in the past couple of years that are contrary to what I thought is astounding. But I'm working on my own stuff every single day, just like everybody else. I just feel like I was introduced to it a little bit sooner so that I would be in a position where I could help others. And that's what I'm doing now. But I'm still, even to this day, working on things. Essential oils are good. I said your name right? That's good. Whew. Okay, so I only have an hour for this broadcast, and to be completely honest, I didn't think that I could talk for this long. Holy moly, this is the longest I've ever gone, even on my regular ones. So hopefully, I haven't bored people to death. If you guys want to get a hold of me, again, hopefully my information's below. But if I forgot, divinelyguidedchildren.com. My other website is intuitivewellnesscenter.com because I also work with adults and pets. Email Sherri at intuitivewellnesscenter.com. If you want to donate and you have the ability to do so to the Children's Center, that will go to more art supplies, getting more practitioners in, getting a larger space, getting music. I mean, there's so many things we need to do. I would be eternally grateful for that. But if you can't help monetarily and you want to help in some way, email me if you have suggestions or thoughts about the center, or if you just want to get involved. That's awesome too. Yeah, organic foods is where it's at too. I've been trying to buy more of that as much as I can, but finances. But that's going to shift for everybody. All right, guys. Well, I really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. I'll try to do these lives at least once a week, as long as people want to hear from me. I am happy to talk as much as necessary. So, thank you guys for joining me today. And I will see you guys soon.